Lions are 2.5-point favorites. So, that's kind of pretty close here. Lions pulled off some tough wins, especially with 40 guys on injured reserve last week, which is pretty fun. I actually watched them battle it out, and actually you don't really feel it, which is saying something for that Lions team. The Bills just coming off a brouhaha against the Rams. Just an absolutely so much fun game. We spent 20 minutes breaking that one down, but really fun one here against two of the best teams in the NFL, even with the Lions facing some injuries, which will be really, really interesting to watch in this game. But we'll start with when the Bills have the ball against this Lions defense. Charles, what are some of the things that you're checking out, some of the things you're focusing on this side of the ball?
This is a really funny matchup, I think, for the Lions defense, because, the name of the game with them is we're running man coverage. We're running my coverage. And I thought that it was funny because I was looking at their splits, basically what they run for coverage wise. Their 32nd in zone coverage rate, first in man coverage rate. Coincidentally, they're playing an offense that is used to seeing the exact opposite. The Bills have seen the 32nd, the lowest man coverage rate in the league and the highest zone coverage rate in the league. So this is you're going polar opposites here. Yeah. And it's obvious why teams don't want to play man coverage against Josh Allen, because if you turn your back to him, he's just going to run. And he's a guy that can easily run for 100 yards in a game if you would give him the opportunity to do so. So I just want to see really what are the tendency breakers that the Lions will try to use just to save themselves. Because obviously this is a good defense. You don't want to, even as they've gotten banged up, you don't just want to abandon totally what you've gotten here. And you've played 3 months of good defense by playing majority man coverage, blitzing, somewhat kind of keeping it simple and just letting your cornerbacks be good players. But I just find it hard to believe that is a winning plan for this week. And I do think that, if McNeil plays, they kind of have a chance to match up against the run.
He practiced today, so yeah.
Okay, but it doesn't matter if you're just going to let Josh Allen break your back on scrambles over and over and over again, because we know that he's capable of doing the hero ball stuff. He's capable of putting the entire offense on his back and go out and score 30 points. So I think that interaction there and how the Lions decide to call their defense will be really interesting throughout the game.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking at too, was it especially last week when, that Bills-Rams game for both sides was all right, are they playing man or zone? The Bills against when they played the Texans, which still seems like one of the wonkiest games of the year. Remember how much Josh Allen kind of struggled against man. They just beat up, I wouldn't say Josh Allen did. I would say that the Texans DBs really snuffed out the Bills receivers in that game and really just stomped them out of the game. And Keon Coleman made a mistake. In the second half, they came along a little bit. But I kind of came across the same kind of notes. Allen's only taken 1 sack against man coverage this season. He's scrambled 8 times, and he averages almost 10 yards a pop on those scrambles. That's why you don't want to play man coverage against Josh Allen. Josh Allen and Lamar are kind of the guys that no one plays man coverage against, because they're just screw that. We can play perfect defense. We can somebody can get home or get close to getting home and be a free runner, and they just run around him, get a first down. I'm curious too. Yeah, so I looked at the kind of the injury report. DJ Reader sat out Wednesday, but practiced on Thursday, which is huge. Levi Onwuzurike had a limited practice. So they had some, Josh Paschal the same limited practice. So, okay, the reinforcements are coming, or at least they're not as depleted as maybe you would think, because they have freaking 18 guys on injured reserve right now. It's insane. I think 18 defensive players had either injured reserve or injury designation going into this week, which is an entire team. It's a JV squad. I'm just curious too, is the Bills go heavy, because this is a strength on strength thing too for them, is the Bills run that jumbo personnel more than anybody. They are, when they get into 12 and 13, which is 2 or more tight ends, I should say, or an extra offensive lineman, 3rd in success rate, 1st in explosive play rate, 2nd in EPA per play, good running, good passing. They do this at a large chunk of their snaps. And Bills have, like I said, have the highest rate of just jumbo, which is 6 offensive linemen. The other quirk of this Lions defense, outside they play a bunch of man, is on early downs, they stay big. They just keep their big boys out there. Even with the injuries, they've been doing the same thing. Well, I looked at the same personnel groupings against this Lions defense just to see how they've been up this whole year. first in EPA per play allowed, first in EPA per drop back, and third in success rate. True strength on strength when these teams want to go big. And I think that's going to be fun because they both want to do it. So is it going to be like, all right, who blinks? Like you said, is there a changeup that they throw out there? The other thing, too, is mentioning Josh Allen running. Next Gen Stats pointed this out in one of their insights. He's at the lowest amount of design runs this year. Scrambles are one thing, that's pass play running, and the design runs are actually like read plays and all that. Lowest of his career, 1.3 design runs per game. Time to dust off the old nuke button in this game. Just go, okay, all right, let's call about 3 or 4 of these, and let's get it going, because Anthony Richardson got this defense with it a little bit. Baker Mayfield had a quarterback draw touchdown against this defense. Kyler Murray had a couple nice runs on design runs against this defense. So like maybe that's the little change up that the Bills try to throw their way. I think it's going to be a big Amari Cooper game against man coverage, or whoever they decide is the corner that they want to attack. Keon Coleman's back. Khalil Shakir might be a big game for him. You have Dalton Kincaid against Brian Branch, which was just a fun matchup. So this is just a really fun kind of strength on strength thing here, as long as the Lions are healthy-ish. That will kind of make it that way too. And do they try to blitz them? Allen torches the blitz. He's done that his whole career. He's just consistently good against the blitz, and teams don't really want to do it. He's second in EPA per dropback against the blitz, and he tries to gash you. And it's pretty funny too, talking about that scramble stuff. 5 scrambles against the blitz, 4 of them went for first downs. So it's so must be so frustrating for defenses to go against this guy. Unless you just outscore him like the Rams did, because it's just like, all right, try this. All right, well, try this. He just ran by us. Okay, no, now we're going to squat on everything, and then he chucks it over the top and beats you over the top. So, Josh Allen is always going to be a conundrum, but I do think that maybe targeting Amari Cooper a little bit against all this man coverage. Amari's got a 35% target share against man coverage this year. 1 out of 3 balls goes to him when they play in man coverage, or defenses play in man coverage. So maybe check him out. That's why they went and acquired him.